How's it going, welcome back to the Great Crew North. Welcome to another spring lawn tip video heading into the summer. Today we're going to be just doing a tour around my lawn, giving you updates on how everything's looking, how everything's improving, some of the issues I'm facing, and then without further ado, we'll talk about what's going to come up in the spring, things we're going to work on, and everything like that. So if that sounds like a good idea to you, make sure you hit that like button down below and stick around all the way to the end of the video. For those of you new here, my name is Wade Murray. I'm a lawn care enthusiast, and I'm here to help homeowners have the best lawn on the block. So if that sounds like a good idea to you, make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon down below so you never miss a video. So for those of you who don't know, I've been working with this great Canadian lawn care company, GrowForge. They sell liquid lawn care products, and this front yard, which is 5,000 square feet, has been treated with entirely liquids this year. So it has 2 apps of the TNT starter fertilizer, as well as 1 app of the baseline and straight line together. Looking at this lawn, I'm very happy with how this is looking so far. It's thickening up quite nicely. We are in a bit of a dry spell right now, so it does need a little bit of water. A couple of issues that I'm currently having up here. We had a whole bunch of rain, and that led to a bit of disease forming in here. You can see some of the leftover damage from the disease. It's slowly recovering now. It looks like most of the disease spores are gone, but this is still something I'm facing. So maybe a little bit of work is going to take to help improve this section of the lawn, get it to thicken back up again. A little bit of water, a little bit of fertilizer, and hopefully that should fix that. But that disease kind of set me back this spring, especially in this front. Might end up doing some minor overseeding in here just to hopefully patch this area back in. But all in all, I'm really impressed with these GrowForge products. I'll show you some before and afters from the first app in the spring. I put down an app 3 days ago, and this was looking really rough with this disease, and it's looking a lot better now. All in all, color over there too, it's looking great. If you ignore the disease section, great color, looks really, really good. Really happy with the way that this front lawn is looking, and the liquids are coming through, so definitely recommend. A couple things that we're going to be hoping to improve on this summer are back here is I've been putting down a lot of TPA wetting agent as well as the organohume. I'm trying to get the water retention up here to be a little stronger. This front yard gets a ton of sun, so if that water retention could just be the littlest bit stronger, that would really help keep this front yard green and healthy all summer long. Dealing with those disease problems, fixing that section is something we're going to have to deal with soon. And then we're supposed to do some landscaping up here, so this might be a full redo in the fall, full reseed, depending on what happens that way. Now heading around this side, this is the side yard, the area that I said always needs a lot of work. It's looking better. This has also been on a 100% liquid program this year, so it's looking a lot better. I am seeing some, it's still very thin, and there's just a lot of crap in here, some quack grass, Poa annua, Poa triv, all that other stuff just kind of mixed in here. So the plan is that we're gonna try to keep this pumping with fertilizer, see how we can get it going, and then we're gonna do a full kill in the fall and reseed this with the new GrowForge seed. That's hopefully gonna get a better color and more consistent. There's just too much random stuff in here for me to help make it look good, so that's what we're working on back here. All in all though, it's looking significantly better than it did this spring. I'll show you some before and after pictures. This was treated with 2 treatments of the TPA wetting agent, as well as that same liquid program that's been going on in the front yard. So really impressed with the way this liquid program is working. The thickness that I'm receiving from the liquid program is not 100% there as it is with the granular program in the back, but that's kind of the way the liquids work, right? It's a little bit of a spoon feeding. You're not going to get that giant jolt of growth in the spring that you're used to if you're someone who does a lot of granular. However, the color that I'm seeing from this liquid program is miles and miles beyond the color that I'm receiving from the granular program in the back. Like if you look at the color reception on this lawn, color response, it's almost 24 hours. That color response is right there. It's a spoon feed app. It slowly helps keep it growing. It wears off in about 2 weeks, and then when you hit it with your next app, and the color response is right back there again. So really happy with how that's working out. We just got to deal with some of those disease problems in the front lawn, and then we'll be good to go. All right, so coming around here to my back lawn. This back lawn is about 18,000 square feet of mixture of fescue and Kentucky bluegrass. Right now this back lawn's looking really good. We had tons of rain. We had about a week's worth of rain, and then following that we've hit a bit of a dry spell. So really impressed with how this is responding. It's looking great. All in all, thickness and color. This has received one granular application of a 3008 fertilizer, and it responded very well. Great color. So future plans in this backyard for the rest of the year, this is going to be getting an app of the humic as well as the TPA about every month. So we're going to do 4 apps, and that should hopefully help keep that moisture in as much as possible. This backyard again gets direct sun and struggles with moisture. It is fully irrigated, so we're trying to keep that, make that irrigation go that much farther without stretching the water bill too much. So hopefully that's the idea back here. Get some humic on this, get it responding a little bit better, and then hopefully that will give us a little bit more use out of the water as far as the spring goes. This has been irrigated this spring, especially this week when the dry spell came in. So if we can get that humic on here, we're sticking with the granular program for most of the summer. Might put 1 app of balance line in the middle of the summer, or straight line, just to get a little bit of color. But all in all, really happy with the way the backyard looks this year. No disease problems whatsoever. And yeah. And for those of you who remember those areas we were doing grow-ins in the fall, this is the one area. So I'll show you the before pictures from last year. This is the after. It's a little hard to see from the shade. Still a little thin, but has a little bit of work to do. And then down here, this was the other grow-in we were doing last fall. Looking really good. All right, so when we're heading into that early summer spring lawn tips, there's a couple things to keep in mind. Most of what everything you do right now is getting you ready for that summer stress to help push you through the summer. So getting your lawn started off right in the summer is great. Making sure that you're mowing properly, you're mowing at that 3.75 to 4 inch mark on your cool season grass. You're mowing it evenly, so making sure that you're not cutting off more than 1/3 of the grass blade at a time. You do not need to add more stress into the lawn at this point. Your lawn is already going to begin to feel the heat stress as soon as that heat starts to come in. So not stressing it anymore, making sure you're staying on top of that mowing. That probably in the spring for me means mowing every 2 days, but that's what's necessary to keep your lawn less stressed. If you start hacking away at the lawn, taking off 2-3 inches in every mow, you're stressing your lawn before the summer stresses even come. You're setting your lawn up for failure. So making sure that you're keeping on top of your mowing that way, as well as this keeping on top of watering. People get a little lazy in the spring. Last week, as I said, we had almost a month's worth of rain in 1 week. It poured rain for almost 8-9 days straight. But this week, it's been sunny, it's been dry. People are probably not going in to their water this week as much as they would have been if it was drier last week, because they think they got so much rain last week. But just because we did get so much rain last week, you want to keep your soil damp and happy. If you back off on that water right away, you stop watering, you let the lawn dry out. As soon as the lawn dries out, it's a lot harder to get it back. If you keep just adding those little jolts of water in, it will help keep your lawn healthy and green for longer, and will help reduce the stress again on your lawn for longer periods of time. So making sure you're staying on top of that watering. Your lawn needs 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water per week. If you don't know how to do that, take out a Tupperware container, put that on the lawn, set up your sprinklers, wait till that Tupperware container fills up with 1/2 inch of water, time how long that takes, and that's how long it takes for your sprinkler to put down 1/2 inch of water. So keeping that in mind, keeping the watering in mind, will definitely help set you up for success when the spring comes or when the summer comes. You're going to be stressed, there's no doubt about it, but it's just limiting the amount of stress you're going to have is going to help you that much more. As far as fertilizer goes, next week we're heading into the Victoria Day weekend, or the Memorial Day weekend for my friends in the United States. This means it's time to put down your final fertilizer app before the summer. If you're doing a granular program, you can go ahead and put down a granular fertilizer that weekend. That will give you that last bit of boost before your summer. If you're doing a liquid program, stick with that every 2-week application rate. So for me, I fertilize this week, so I won't fertilize this weekend, I'll fertilize next weekend. That's just how it's going to work. You're going to keep on that, spoon feeding all summer long. But for those of you doing granular, May 2-4 is kind of that last weekend to get down that granular before that summer stress normally begins to set in. And it's probably going to begin to set in within the next week or two. As far as weed control goes, if you are seeing some weeds popping up right now, you can go ahead and spray Fiesta or 2,4-D, whatever you can get access to. you have to spray it on actively growing plants, so therefore you can spray it now because plants are actively growing, but as soon as that heat sets in, that's the end of your weed killer. You cannot spray on plants that are not actively growing, as the plant will not intake the weed killer and it will not work. So now is a great time to do some weed control if you have it. If you have dandelions, go ahead, get a dandelion puller, start pulling them. That's the best thing to do right now. That's going to set you up for success again in the summer. If you can get rid of those opportunistic weeds before your lawn becomes stressed, that will make sure that those weeds will not begin to take over once your lawn becomes stressed. Some final things to think about: varying your mowing patterns. We all like to put in stripes in the lawn, but making sure that you're not mowing the same pattern every single week can definitely make a big difference. Mowing the same pattern in your lawn every single week actually creates ruts in the lawn. It trains the grass to lie down that way, and it doesn't come out to great results in the future. Believe me, I used to do it way back when, and I had actually weed stripes where the tires of the lawnmower landed. So varying your mowing patterns, changing directions every week or every other week is always a great idea. It helps the grass grow more evenly, grow more flat, gives you a nicer, more even cut, and it all in all just makes for a healthier, more stress resilient lawn. Again, everything that you're doing right now is to prevent summer stress from hitting that much harder. So anything you can do to make your lawn's life that much better, to make your lawn's life that much easier, to help prevent that stress from hitting that much harder is amazing. So doing that right now is the best time of the year to approach the lawn that way. Approach the lawn thinking, I'm going to do minimal damage. Anything I do right now has to be setting up my lawn for success. Is it setting my lawn up for success in the stressful time of the summer? Yes or no? This is also the time, if you don't have a sprinkler, or to start thinking about your irrigation, whether you are going to water your lawn this summer, you're going to keep it out of dormancy, keep it green, keep it healthy, or you're not going to water your lawn this summer, you're going to let it go into dormancy, or you're going to give it that little bit of water, you're going to let it go into dormancy, but you're going to water it, once every other week, a half inch of water down just to keep that lawn alive. These are things to think about now. What's your approach in the summer going to be? And we're going to be talking about this more in depth in a video coming up in about a week or two, what your summer approaches can be. But without further ado, that's pretty much it for spring lawn tips right now. More to come in a video upcoming weeks. So there's plenty of things coming up here, plenty of testing going on with wetting agents and stuff in the back. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you hit subscribe and follow the channel coming up in the future. We got plenty of great things coming up. From the Great Coon North, my name is Wade Murray. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, keep it green.
I was a highway